to devote themselves to geometry. Euclid is laboriously measured by some of them, and Aristotle and Theophrastus are admired, and Galen perhaps by some is even worshipped. But that those who use the arts of unbelievers for their heretical opinions and adulterate the simple faith of the divine Scriptures by the craft of the godless, are far from the faith, what need is there to say? Therefore they have laid their hands boldly upon the divine Scriptures, alleging that they have corrected them. That I am not speaking falsely of them in this manner, whoever wishes may learn. For if any one will collect their respective copies, and compare them one with another, he will find that they differ greatly. Those of Asclepiades, for example, do not agree with those of Theodotus; and many of these can be obtained, because their disciples have assiduously written the corrections, as they call them, that is, the corruptions, of each of them. Again, those of Hermophilus do not agree with these, and those of Apollonides are not consistent with themselves. For you can compare those prepared by them at an earlier date with those which they corrupted later, and you will find them widely different. But how daring this offense is, it is not likely that they themselves are ignorant. For either they do not believe that the divine Scriptures were spoken by the Holy Spirit, and thus are unbelievers; or else they think themselves wiser than the Holy Spirit, and in that case what else are they than demoniacs? For they cannot deny the commission of the crime, since the copies have been written by their own hands. For they did not receive such Scriptures from their instructors, nor can they produce any copies from which they were transcribed. But some of them have not thought it worth while to corrupt them, but simply deny the law and the prophets, and thus through their lawless and impious teaching under pretense of grace have sunk to the lowest depths of perdition. Let this suffice for these things. End of Book 5, Part 4.